Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the IFW Show. I am Karan Garg, and I welcome you all to this episode of today. Today, we are going to discuss something very important and something very interesting. We have a very special guest today, and he will be talking about the art of holistic wellness. अब ये holistic wellness क्या है? जितना मैंने अभी तक समझा है सेशंस इसको स्टार्ट होने से पहले, holistic wellness is a combination of four areas, that is your physical, mental, इमोशनल एंड फाइनेंशियल वेलनेस. सो इतने इंपॉर्टेंट एरियाज और ये चारों एरियाज किस तरीके से एक साथ काम करते हैं आपकी लाइफ के लिए, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. एंड लेट्स स्टार्ट द शो. सो फ्रेंड्स, आज हम बात करने वाले हैं एक वेरी डियर फ्रेंड ऑफ माइंड, मिस्टर आशु नितिन अनंत से. लेट्स वेलकम हिम ऑन बोर्ड. हाय, गुड इवनिंग आशु, हाउ आर यू?
Hi Karan, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's so nice to see you, and thank you so much for accepting this invite to come on board for the show.
It's my pleasure.
तो दोस्तों, मैं आपको आशु मेरा स्कूल का बहुत अच्छा जिगरी दोस्त है. उससे ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट बात ये है कि he is a alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad. He is an engineer by qualification also, and after spending so many years in corporate life, he has started his venture by the name of Tattva Manthan. So आशु, मैं सबसे पहले तुमसे पूछना चाहूंगा, how has been your journey and what made you start the concept like Tattva Manthan, which is so different from and so unexpected from a person who has come out just out of the corporate world, or let's say from Ahmedabad. So this is very different that you are doing. So how you made up your mind to do something like this?
Okay, so it was. I think it just came from within because I'd spent like 12 years in the corporate world and I had gone for my MBA. And what they basically teach you at a B school is how to solve problems. And I had an option of joining a consulting firm and solving problems of big corporations. But I think there are a lot of people who are already doing that, and I always find it very interesting to connect to people. And I see that a lot of times we keep on going through a lot of troubles, a lot of emotional upheavals, and a lot of problems which can actually be solved very easily. But then how do you do that? So in fact, like if I talk about my own journey, I realized that there are certain things that I now know, and had I known those things like 10 or 15 years back, the trajectory of my life would have been completely different. So I didn't really know that what is it exactly that I'm going to do. So I just quit my job. I had this much confidence that भूखे तो नहीं मरेंगे, कुछ ना कुछ तो हो ही जाएगा. So I quit my job, and then I started my R&D on this thing, that okay, what is it that I really want to do? And then things just started coming to my mind, and all my experiences, I put together everything. So there were two things basically which towards which I have always been very much inclined. One is spirituality. Now that is something which has come from my family. In fact, to be very precise, from my grandfather, because he used to read a lot of books on spirituality, and all of those books will be on the same topic. There would be a lot of different books that he would read, and I would always ask him that why are there so many different books on the same topic. So then he used to tell me that basically what Hindu philosophy teaches you is the art of questioning. So if you read a book and if you think that whatever is written is final, then you are a big fool. Because even if it is true, what is written, it was true at that time in the context of that person. But how do you put it in your context? So I was always inclined towards spirituality because it's a pretty interesting thing. And the second thing was strategy, by virtue of the work that I was doing, and also because I went to the B school. So strategy is another thing. Again, it's a very abused word in the world of management, but I think these two things were something that I wanted to do something about. So, and the objective was to help people. So we just blended the two things together. We put in a year's research behind this thing, and there are a lot of interesting people in my team from different walks of life. And that's how we started. In fact, we are fairly new. We just launched a couple of months back, and we're not there on Insta yet. Just tomorrow that you'll be able to see our Insta page as well.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. That's amazing. So you are talking about a combination of spirituality and strategy. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing. And today you'll be talking about what you are doing when you are like in Tattva Manthan. You are talking about the art of holistic wellness. So exactly in a person's life in any walk of life wherever we are, like what do you say about a holistic approach of wellness? How somebody can achieve holistic approach of a life according to you?
Okay, I'll give you a very simple example. Do you drive a car?
Sorry.
Do you drive a car?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in order to drive a car, you need a few things. If everything else is fine, but your battery is not working, do you think you'll be able to drive the car? No. If
Definitely not.
battery is working, but if one of your tires is flat, it doesn't help, right? If everything else is fine, but you don't have any fuel, that also won't work, right?
Yeah.
Then there are times.
I may just sit in in my car and put the ignition on and enjoy the music, but of course that is not the purpose of the car that I'll be able to.
Exactly. So holistic wellness is about that. So these days when people think about it, कि uh, चलो वेलनेस के बारे में कुछ करते हैं लाइफ में थोड़ा वेलनेस बढ़ाने का है सो दे यूजुअली टेंड टू टॉक ओनली अबाउट फिजिकल वेलनेस बट देयर आर लॉट ऑफ अदर थिंग्स and all of these things are pretty much interdependent. So let's say for example you had a bad day at work. Okay, when you will come back home, you might be in a different mood. You won't be able to enjoy as much with your family. Okay, and sometimes you might feel a little low as well. You wouldn't feel like playing. If you're used to playing sometime in the evening, that day you will feel very low. Why? Because it's one aspect of your life which has impacted the other aspects. The day when you're not well, uh, let's say that you're having a fever or something, that day you don't feel like working. I mean, so everything is interrelated. So holistic wellness is something which takes care of all those aspects of your life. We'll talk about it in detail in the in the coming few minutes. uh,
I
so
can, sorry to disturb your flow, Ashu, but I can see a lot of response in the comments box. So I would just make a small request to all the audience who are watching that yes, of course, holistic wellness is something very interesting, and you all are keen to ask some personal or some very important questions. So keep putting your questions in the comments whenever you feel like, and I'm sure Ashu will love to take your questions in between. And at the end of the show, we will try to take as many questions as we can. So yes, Ashu, please carry on.
so no, so that's it. So in fact, when I was looking for it, when I did my own research for my startup, and I was trying to see that who else is there who is giving such services, I couldn't find a single person. So see, there are a lot of spiritual gurus you will find, okay, who are very high on wisdom, okay, uh, but then like, are they going to tell you how to make money or how to save money? No, they're not going to tell you, right? Or let's say that you go to a life coach. A life coach might tell you a lot of different things, but they're telling you things. We don't tell you things. I mean, like we never advise people what to do. So we'll talk about this thing in the coming. I think you can put up that slide which I had sent you. We'll talk about it.
Okay, sure.
Put
Yeah,
the second slide up.
there it goes. Here it goes. This one.
Put the second slide. Yeah. Okay. So now what you're seeing here on the screen, the purple ones, are the things that we deal in: financial wellness, physical wellness, professional, emotional, and holistic wellness. What you're seeing, on the white, the pink text on white, is
Mhm.
uh, is the methodology that we use. So you can see there are four things that we have written: spirituality, strategy, case method, and vinyasa yoga. Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about case method. Now, what is case method? Uh, a lot of people when they find out about our workshops, they think that it's a webinar. In a webinar, what happens is a person is talking and the other people are listening. So what is the setting? You are right from the beginning, you are telling them that, boss, I know something more than what you know, and you listen to me. But I don't think that's the right thing to do. The best thing to do is use collective wisdom of the entire group. That's exactly what case method does. Now, case method is the primary learning methodology which is used by all the premier B schools like IIM Ahmedabad and Harvard. So, in fact, when I was doing my MBA, case method is something we all just love case method because okay, I'll tell you what happens in case method. There will be a real life scenario, okay, and in that real life scenario, a person, the protagonist, would be facing some kind of a dilemma. So you would be
Mhm.
given the entire description of the protagonist, okay, and then in the end, you will be asked a question that what do you think this person should do? So that is where the discussion starts from, okay. So there are already a lot of things that you think or that that this person should be doing. So let's say that I ask Karan, ki, okay, Karan, tell me, what do you think this person should do? Karan will say, according to me, this person should do A, B, C, okay. Then I'll ask the other person, what do you think? Do you agree with Karan? Then that person might say, no, you would be a big fool if you does B and C. Why? Because of this reason. So now what you have done is you have eliminated two wrong choices or two things which would have made him fail had he actually done those things. So now your probability of success is increased. Now Karan might say, no, B and C are not wrong. For what reason? For this reason. So what are you doing? You're basically using critical reasoning. Okay. Now, when
Right.
you do that thing, all the concepts and everything, it's backstage. Okay. So, so whatever concepts you are using, whether you're using concepts of spirituality or psychology or strategy or whatever it is, it's there. That's your toolbox. But a good toolbox never makes a good piece of furniture, does it? It doesn't. It's your brain, it's your creativity, it's how
Right.
steady your hand is, right? So that's exactly what we do. We will give you the toolkit as well, okay? But we'll take the entire discussion in such a way so that there's no limit. There's today a discussion is happening on one case, and let's say the group comes up with a particular solution. Okay, tomorrow there's another group. It might come up with a completely different solution, which might be a lot better than this one. So that's what we use, case method. This is the backbone of our of all our workshops. So that's a big difference. And as I was telling you that in all of these things, I did not find a single source which gives you all of these things. Like
Mhm.
for example, if you talk about professional wellness, now is your spiritual guru going to tell you that if your boss is giving you a tough time, okay, or if you're not getting a promotion, or if you're being feeling like a victim at work, okay, how do you give it back to them? Because sometimes it is important to give it back to them. Is it or is it
Right.
not?
Of course it
See,
is.
money and all is okay. See, these days, these are the buzzwords. Everybody is so crazy about spirituality. They would talk about Shiva and Shakti and all of those things. They won't even know what does it mean, but it just sounds cool, right? But then, like, how do you use those things in your life? So that is where this thing comes into picture. I'll give you an example. Okay, so now go back to the previous slide.
Mhm.
Now here is a classic example. Okay, so I'll tell you the situation.
Okay.
it's it's you and your colleague, okay, and your boss has told the two of you that I know both of you have been expecting promotions, okay,
Mhm.
but here is a little game that we are going to play.
Okay.
If you ask for a promotion, okay, if Karan
Mhm.
asks for a promotion, okay, and the colleague also asks for a promotion, both of you are not going to get any promotion, okay. If both of you
Okay.
do not ask for a promotion, both of you are going to get a promotion. Got it? Like the first quadrant that you're seeing, I mean, the bottom right quadrant. Both of you don't ask for a promotion, both of you will get it. If
Okay.
you ask for a promotion, and if your colleague doesn't ask for a promotion, okay, you will get a double promotion. Look at the top right corner. You'll get a double promotion if you ask for a promotion and if your colleague doesn't ask for a promotion. Now, if your colleague asks for a promotion and you do not ask for a promotion, he gets a double promotion and you do not get a promotion. And if both of you end up asking for a promotion, both of you will not get a promotion. You cannot talk to each other. You cannot form a cartel. Even if you do, you never know. Your friend might lie to you. Okay. So tell me, what is it that you're going to do?
Well, if I talk about personally about my thing, that I may not ask for promotion because that's a very personal thing. But personally, if I talk about my case, I will not stay away from asking from promotion because I'll feel that if there is a promotion due, and I think I will get it anyways without asking for it. So that will be my take basically.
No, 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 no. This is the clear-cut payoff matrix which your boss has told you guys. Okay. Now you
Okay.
have to make it clear. So your ethics and your goodwill and all of those things are not going to work. It's simple like this. He basically wants
Okay.
to test you guys on your critical reasoning thing, because the promotion is for the position of chief strategic officer. Okay, so
Okay.
you need to know how to play strategic games. Otherwise, you will not be able to get that promotion, right? So tell me, what is it that you will do? Whether you will ask for promotion or not?
Well, then now there are two things. If I can either ask directly for promotion, and that you have given me an option wherein if uh, the other I don't ask for promotion, that I can get a double promotion, right?
If you ask for it and if your colleague doesn't ask for it, then you get a double promotion.
Exactly. So in that case, maybe my mind, if I am good at playing good political games, that I may try to convince the other person why he should not ask for a promotion. But that can also be a scenario. If I
Correct.
can play my my cards well,
Yeah.
so that can also be a scenario. If I already know that this is going to happen, like something like this, so I may
So
play
what?
around with office politics in such way that the other person doesn't ask for it.
Yeah. Okay. So now the thing is that what you're saying is basically that what you're aiming for is you playing alpha and your colleague playing beta, right? See, alpha, beta, I've given both the options. Alpha is asking for promotion, beta is not asking for promotion. Okay. So
Right.
the most favorable scenario for you is that you end up asking for it and he doesn't ask for it, right?
Right. So I will
Okay.
try to play
But,
it in such a way
but
that he doesn't ask for it.
yeah, but do you think your colleague is a fool?
Obviously not.
Right. So what do you think is going to happen? He's as sharp as you.
Hmm.
What do you think he'll do? He'll also end up asking for a promotion, right?
Exactly.
Because he doesn't want to end up in a situation in which you get a double promotion and he goes back home like a fool, right?
Yes, yes. So
So
if we are equally talented and sharp and present in that moment and want that promotion badly, then there are pretty much chances that we both will go end up asking promotion for the promotion.
correct. And both of you will end up not getting a promotion, right?
Right.
This is called collateral damage. Okay. But it happens. See, now I'll tell you what you're seeing over here is called the game theory. Okay. And in the
Hmm.
game theory, both the people asking for not asking for asking for a promotion, which means both the people playing alpha, okay, is going to be see. There's somebody who's already talking about national equilibrium, so he's right. So both the people who are asking for a promotion, both the people playing alpha, which means that you are in a deadlock situation. Now this is called the dominant strategy. This is an outcome in which both of you end up losing something. Okay, both of you will end up losing something. But then if you don't do that, your colleague will go ahead of you. So now again, this is what does it look to you? Does it look like strategy to you? Does it look like spirituality to you?
Well, of course, after seeing the all the options, I feel that there is a middle path that goes around. It's a
There is
mixed
no middle
thing.
path. See, this is all jazz. Okay, in life there is the only strategy is win lose. Okay, there is no win-win strategy. People might fool
Mhm.
you. So like you were trying to fool your friend that win-win. Okay, you also don't ask for a promotion. I'll also not ask for a promotion. Okay, in the end you are going to backstab him, right? So beware of people who tell you that that they want to play a collaborative game with you, because in the end they will get competitive, and this is what happens. So now this entire example, does it look like an example from strategy or an example from spirituality? What do you think?
It looks more from the strategy side.
Now let me tell you one thing. This is there in Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Okay, Krishna, you know that situation, right? That Arjuna was like, boss, I don't want to fight. He wanted to play beta. Do not fight,
Mhm.
play beta. Fight, play alpha. And so your colleague is basically the Kauravas, okay, and you are Arjuna, okay, and you are saying that no, I don't want to fight. Why? Because there's collateral damage that I see. All my people will get killed, and even on the other side, all of those people are my relatives and my friends and all that. So I don't want to do it. What did Krishna say? That you fool, if you don't fight, okay, if you don't play alpha, you will end up losing everything. So it is your dharma to play alpha, correct?
Right.
That is spirituality. It's strategy. It's a blend of the two. Okay.
Exactly.
So
It's a blend.
yeah. So now see, when you look at these things, now the moment I say that ये गीता में लिखा है, and you know that ये गीता में actually लिखा है, ठीक है? तो आपको अंदर से एक कॉन्फिडेंस आता है कि अरे हाँ, ये तो गीता में लिखा है, मैं कर सकता हूँ. अदरवाइज आप ये कर भी लेते ना, तो आपको अंदर से एक गिल्ट फीलिंग रहता कि अरे व्हाट डिड आई डू, आई मीन दिस इज नॉट द राइट थिंग टू डू. व्हाई? बिकॉज यू हैव अ बिलीफ सिस्टम. करेक्ट? We have a
Right.
belief system because this is what the society teaches us, which is something that we cover in detail. So we have a module called social conditioning. Okay, so the
Mhm.
society has taught us that you have to play a collaborative game always, but then there will be one chap who will keep on playing collaboratively with you, but in the end, when the stakes are really high, he'll end up playing a competitive game, and you will end up losing, and he or she will end up winning. You're getting my point? So
Mhm.
now, how do we blend these things together in our own personal life is what we cover. So a lot of times you will see that in my professional life, I don't know what to do because there's so many things. You're working in different layers. You'll think that see initially when we join a new company, what happens? We just want to focus on the domain. We just want to focus on the work that I should learn the like. I should learn more about my industry and about my job and all those things. You would not, obviously, I mean, you would not be as foolish to go and hurt people's egos. But then still, you would not be working at a strategic level, right? Now, again, I hate to use this word strategic, but then that's okay. Weber Rumta is saying something. Okay, thanks, Weber, for your compliments. Please come for our workshops. We really need people like you. So, what was I telling you?
So basically, you're trying to tell you about the spirituality and the strategy side of and the
Yeah.
balance that
So,
everybody has to maintain.
I was going to, yeah. So I was talking about, the politics at work thing. Okay. So like
Mhm.
initially when you join an organization, what happens is, initial few years, you will just keep on working and see you're at the bottom of the pyramid at that time. Competition is not really much. Why? You will say that there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people, but there are a lot of, positions also available, like, for you to get promoted. So for the first few years, you'll just keep working, you'll keep getting promotions. And if you're not getting a promotion, if you're stuck for a little too long, you won't think twice before switching your job. Gone are those days, like, see, I spent 11 years with Cummins. Okay. Now, these days, not a lot of that much amount of time with one company. My reasons were different. People's reasons are different. I'm not saying that I am right and they are wrong or the other way around. But what
Mhm.
happens is that you might get a promotion or you might change your job and you might get a hike, but you will never learn the the power and politics ka game. Now, power and politics ka game, it's easier said than done. It doesn't mean that you have to be a very shrewd guy. No, you don't have to be. But at least you need to think on that layer because whatever things you see happening, कि भाई कुछ माल बन रहा है, it's getting sold. There is some guy who is doing the finance thing. There is an HR department. There are different people who are doing different things. Okay, so you are seeing movement of things. That is the superficial layer. Then there is
Right.
एक अंदर वाला layer. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? Why was this person given a preference over the other guy? The other guy was more. See how many times it happens now that you will see that an undeserving person got promotion, but a very deserving guy. And most of the people, see you go on LinkedIn and you see it, the posts will be filled up with this thing, people feeling victimized. Why? Is the question that we ask. Is the question that you should ask yourself. So go back to that slide. I'll show you something.
Mhm.
The second slide. Okay. So now see, now is the time. Let's say that you are in such a situation in which you are feeling like a victim. Okay, that I'm not getting a promotion and everybody is conspiring against me, and you a lot of people find themselves in that situation. If you are in that situation, what is the first thing that you should do?
Well, basically, you have to do a self-analysis that what's going wrong or how somebody can come out of that situation, how you can fight that situation. Basically, you will try to find out ways of that.
Correct. So, correct. So you will do that, right? I mean, what is it that you're doing? You're basically looking within.
Right.
Okay.
What can
Now,
I do to solve my situation? Basically, I'll try to find the answers for that.
correct. So now, what if I told you that yoga has the solution to all of these things?
Okay, interesting.
Okay, uh, but how? Now, what is yoga? What do you think is yoga? Like, have you ever done yoga?
Yeah, of course. We have done a lot of yoga in the school days, and now looking at me, you can say that now I'm not doing too much of yoga these days. But yes, I had done yoga at times, and I know about the asanas and all. Yeah.
Okay. So now let me tell you one thing. What you have done is not yoga. It's the
Okay.
asanas that you practice. Maybe you have done pranayam. Okay. But
Correct.
these are asanas and pranayam. Okay. That is not yoga. You cannot do yoga. Nobody can do yoga. The literal meaning of the word yoga is union. Can you do a union? No. And I don't want you to start getting dirty thoughts about it. But that's a different union. I'm talking about a different union over here. Okay. So so now yoga or yog, as they call it, is the union of what? Of Atman with Brahman. Now, what is Atman and what is Brahman? Okay. You'll say that you're taking a detour, but it is important because it's a very important concept. Once you get this concept clear, it's like a formula.
Mhm.
You put it everywhere, you'll get the solution. Okay. So now, what is
Nice.
Atman and what is Brahman? Okay. So to understand that, we need to have a look at the next slide. Go to the next slide.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Nobody will be able to read the text, but it's good. They'll be, they'll listen to me, and you can look at our beautiful faces. Okay, so see these five layers that you see. These are the different koshas that we have. What are the koshas? Koshas means layers. Kosh, Hindi में बोलते हैं कोश, Sanskrit में
Gosh.
kosha.
Yeah.
So koshas are different layers. Now your existence has got a lot of layers. I'm not saying your body. I'm saying your existence has got different layers. How? What is the first thing that you feel or that you see? It's your body, right? It's the physical body. Okay, so that's the outermost layer. It's called the annamaya kosha. Why annamaya? Because it is made out of anna. Anna is what you eat. So what you eat is what you become, right?
Okay.
So annamaya kosha is your physical body. Then comes a more subtle layer, which is the layer of energy. Okay, it's a pranamaya kosha. Prana means energy. So, what is that pranamaya kosha? Pranamaya kosha, you cannot see that. See your hands and your entire body, you can see and you can touch. Can you touch your energy? You can't. You just feel its effects, right? So, when you
Correct.
feel the effects of your energy, it's sometimes you say that, oh, today I'm feeling very sick, or today I'm feeling very active and energetic, or today I'm feeling very low on energy. So, that's your energy layer that you're talking about. Then comes the third layer. Okay, this is the layer of your emotions. Okay, it's called manomaya kosha.
Mhm.
So that layer is again even more subtle. Okay, but there are manifestations in that layer quite a lot of times. So you will say that I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm excited, I'm angry. All those things that you're saying like this are being manifested in your emotional layer. Now, you cannot touch it, you cannot feel it. See, energy is still in a way you can say that, oh, this person could not run for 1 kilometer in whatever number of minutes. Okay. Can you really measure your emotions and all that? No, it's just something. It's
No.
like a seismic scale. It comes. Oh, I had a heartbreak. Oh, I got rejected. So it comes like an earthquake. Okay, you feel it. You can't really measure it. So that is your
Mhm.
manomaya. Then comes your intellectual layer. Okay, the layer of wisdom, the layer of all rational thinking that you do. This is called the Vijnanamaya kosha. Vijnanamaya, because Vigyan, what is Vigyan? Vigyan is that, right? Rationalization of things. Okay, so that is
Yes.
the Vijnanamaya kosha. Now, when all of these layers are not present, okay, or when you're not feeling anything in any of these layers, okay, which is when you're sleeping. So when you're sleeping, you can't feel your body, your energy, your emotions, nothing you can feel. But still you're existing, right? And you're existing in a blissful state. So that state, that last layer is called the Anandmaya kosha. Anand is bliss. Okay, bliss. What if you remove that as well?
Mhm.
There is somebody who is observing all these things. Okay, who is that person who is observing? So when you say that I went here, I went there, I thought this, I felt this, who is that I? So that I is Atman, your consciousness, you can call it. It's also known as the true reality. We call it true reality because you know that it exists, right? You know that you are there, right? And it's not only your body, it's like something is there. What exactly? Let's not even put a name at it. So we'll just call it true reality or Atman. Okay. Now, what Advaita Vedanta says, what is Advaita Vedanta? I'll talk about that thing a little later. What Advaita Vedanta says is that Atman is nothing but a part of Brahman. Okay. So, what is Brahman? It's just like your internet. You're connected to the internet right now. I am also connected to the internet. So, what is internet? The internet is Brahman. What is your IP address? What is my IP address? These are Atmans. Okay. So basically, it's
Right.
all one. Right now, we are connecting. You can connect with anyone. Okay. so so now, the moment you realize that, oh, I have access to this entire Brahman. So what did I say? The moment you realize, it's a realization. I mean, you are still a part of Brahman, even if you don't realize that you are. Okay. But it's the realization which makes a lot of things easier. So, for example, let's say that if you're online, okay, your internet is working, but you don't know it's working. You just think that you have a laptop. What will be your
Mm.
functionality? What will you be able to do with your laptop? I mean,
Not
okay, you'll
much.
be
Yeah.
able to do a lot of things, but not much, right? You'll not be able to connect to the internet, right?
Yes. Yes.
So the moment you realize, hey, I'm online, okay, so it's like it's a very different feeling, okay. So now that realization, now how does that realization happen? Okay, how do you realize that you are a part of that Brahman? That is yoga. Okay, so that entire process. Now there are different ways of doing it. There are different paths of doing it. Okay, there are four basically paths: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga, which is also known as Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga, why, means the royal path. Ashtanga Yoga, because it is very systematic way. Okay,
Okay.
so now that I've bored you so much and I've given you so much of background. For people who are watching it on YouTube, maybe they might want to go back and see, or they might just want to go and watch something else. But then, if you now put this entire thing into context, okay, and now if we
Mhm.
talk about Ashtanga Yoga, that now we know that we want to tap into that energy, okay, or we want to tap into that bliss or whatever it is. So how do we do that? By Ashtanga Yoga, which is a very systematic procedure. Okay, so in that system, Ashtanga means Ashta Ang, 8 limbs. There are yamas, there are niyamas, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. Okay, so
Okay.
now yamas are the internal disciplines, niyamas are the external disciplines. Okay, and these are further bifurcated. So I'll just talk about a few things. So, like for example, yamas, the 5 yamas: Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Aparigraha, Brahmacharya. Okay, so now you don't even need to go into the details. You just look at the first yam. What is the first yam? It's a Satya. Okay. Now, when I say Satya, what comes to your mind? Ki that you should observe Satya, which means what?
Exactly.
What
Always
do
speak
you?
the truth. Always believe in the speak the truth.
Yeah. Okay. Now, अब मैं आपके इस भ्रम को थोड़ा तोड़ता हूँ. Okay. Satya, when it comes to this thing, when you really try to understand the meaning of Satya, because why? See, Satya is not only speaking the truth. Satya is finding the truth.
Mm.
Okay. You might choose not to speak the truth. Why? For some greater good. Okay. You might
Okay.
choose to lie. That is perfectly all right. What is your intention? That is important. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to get to the depth of things. So Satya is like IFW creations, right? I'm sure every month you must be doing some kind of reviews with your sales team and with all your teams, right? Now that
Of
review that
course.
you're doing is you are following Satya, you're observing Satya. Then boss, let's look into it. किधर से पैसा आ रहा है, किधर से नहीं आ रहा है, ठीक है, सेल्स बढ़ रहा है कि नहीं बढ़ रहा है, ठीक है, हाउ इज माय टीम डूइंग, आर दे हैप्पी और नॉट, ऑल दोस थिंग्स दैट यू आर डूइंग, यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड सत्य. Okay, now when you
Mm.
look within, for this, again coming back to this example, that this guy who is facing a lot of problems at workplace. Okay, you're finding it, like, अरे I'm getting a sinking feeling कि मेरे ऑफिस के अंदर इतना पॉलिटिक्स है. First find the satya, detach yourself from everything. See, where is it manifesting? You are feeling a heartburn, it's manifesting in your manomaya kosha, right? Wherever, whichever kosha it is, any problem is manifesting it, take it to a higher level. See, your Anandmaya kosha is not going to give you any directions, right? Because it's there. It's there when you're sleeping. Okay, so the highest level to which you can take something, the highest port to which you can go is the Vijnanamaya kosha. So your Vijnanamaya kosha is going to do all the rational thinking for you. Okay, so this person who is facing problems at work, he should ask himself, why am I facing the problems? Okay, and when I'm saying detach yourself, then it's like, do I have a problem or do people have a problem? Or am I a misfit over here? Okay. So all the things. It's not only about finding problems about others. So people say, now, well, let's get into the analysis of this situation and let's see what's wrong with the world. Yeah, please do see that what's wrong with the world, but please also see that what's wrong with yourself, because it's a lot easier to like change yourself than it is to change the world, right? So that is the first level of satya. Then the first level of satya might tell you ki, hey, yeah, actually there's something wrong with me, and that is ki I don't have a higher education degree. Okay, if you leave your analysis at that point, it will be an adhura analysis. Go deeper. Why don't you have a higher education degree? Okay, you'll say that I was busy working because I have so many responsibilities at home. I can't go for an MBA or an MS or whatever it is. Leaving my family behind. Okay, it's a constraint, right? Put it somewhere. Then see what is it that you can do. So now what you're doing is you're going layers deeper कि अच्छा फैमिली का प्रॉब्लम है ना ओके लेट मी सी कैन आई सॉल्व दैट प्रॉब्लम बाय डूइंग समथिंग एल्स like can somebody else take care of that problem. Okay, so now what you're doing is you are getting into the तह तह समझते हो ना मतलब like एकदम जैसे
The
अनियन होता
detail,
है
the depth of the things. Yeah.
तह में घुस रहे हो ठीक है तो तह में घुस करके रूट कॉज पे जब तक जाओगे ठीक है तो समझ में आएगा क्या हो रहा है तो अभी देखो मैंने पूरा अष्टांग योगा के अंदर से सिर्फ एक सत्य के बारे में बात करी इससे आपकी आधे से ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम तो इसी सॉल्व हो जाते हैं ठीक है सो लाइक दैट ये अष्टांगा के अंदर पूरा जो मतलब लाइक जो एसओपी दे के रखा हुआ है उसको अगर आप फॉलो करो ना आपको लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं होगा होगा अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम सी ऐसा तो है नहीं कि हम लोग कोई भगवान है ऐसा कुछ ठीक है या फिर मतलब कि हम कहीं पहुंच गए हैं निर्वाणा वगैरह हमें कुछ वो हो गया ठीक है वी आर ऑल लिविंग बीइंग्स यार वी आर ऑल गोइंग थ्रू अ रिवोल्यूशनरी जर्नी ठीक है सो आप कहीं पे भी पहुंच जाओ
या मेरा एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है इसके अंदर लाइक sometimes people will just like to see understand also that can they participate in ashtang yoga, is it for everybody, and can it be done online while discussing it with you if they want to join with you?
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. But see, all our workshops and everything that we have, this is the basis. See, how did I teach you? How did I teach you the game theory? I taught you
Right.
game theory on that slide by giving you an example. That's exactly what we do. We give you a situation, we ask you, what is it? What do you think you will be doing? Right? Now you're applying your brain. See, now the example that I've given you now, you'll never forget it. Why? Because you put your brains onto it. People don't want to do that. A lot of people they say that, oh, I am tired. Just give me a solution. It's very easy, for me to go and give you a solution and make you dependent on me. So next time you again come to me, I'll ask you for money. Give me money. I'll solve your problem. But am I really helping the world by doing that? मेरे को पैसे कमाने होते मेरा बहुत अच्छा खासा जॉब था आई कुड हैव कंटिन्यूड इन दैट जॉब and that's not what I want to do. I mean, that's also one of the things. Yeah, I'm also living in this world. I don't want to live like a beggar. Okay, I want my fair share of whatever dhan aishwarya, whatever it is. But what I'm saying is that I want to help a lot of problems. So the only if any of you people who are watching the show right now or at a later point in time whenever you're watching, I would have one small request. See, if you want to do, if you want to progress on your evolutionary journey or whatever, spending 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever period of time, on something like this is a very good investment that you'll be making on yourself. And trust me, the most important thing is time. You invest, so it's like a stitch in time saves nine. Like I said in the beginning, had I known these things 10 years back, boss, the trajectory of my life would have been completely different. Okay? I'm not sad about where I am right now, but maybe I would have done a lot of different things. So that's what I want to help people with.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I guess that's why your the caption of Tattva Manthan, what I can see on the screen is clear the noise and catch the signal. So
Yeah.
that's so beautifully put in over there, and it resonates so nicely with what you are saying that actually you have to catch the signals because sometimes the answer lies within you. You are not asking the right questions. That's the problem, and I'm sure you are helping basically to find out that.
Yeah, so that's exactly. I mean, the tagline. It's something that my mentor said like so many years back, like some 10 to 12 years back. He said this one line, and somehow it got stuck in my mind, and that's what I used as a tagline. So it's important because see, everything that you see around yourself, there's so much of noise. Here. You take a phone, and what is it like? If I have to use one word for this entire thing, clear the noise, catch the signal. It's a parigraha. Aparigraha is the is the satya hinsa aste aparigraha. It's the fourth yama. Okay, aparigraha means there's a buzzword for it these days. Minimalism. A
Right.
lot of people are talking about it. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, because they are realizing the importance of it. If your house is decluttered, it's so much easier to think, right? If your table is decluttered, it's easier to think. And
Right.
exactly like that. If in your life there are people who will be like, oh, I'm having like so many friends, or I'm having whatever, like I'm going out with so many different people. Minimize the number of people you are interacting with. I'm not saying keep it to a bare minimum, like, but whatever it is, you will be able to see things more clearly. So yeah.
So, Ashu, over here, I would like to ask you, like, how this uh, basic approach works in different examples or different phases of life. Like, you gave some wonderful example of like of office environment. So, does it? How does this you help? How do you help people who are having personal problems in their life? Let's say with their in their
Mm.
family or with the or and but then we can come to the financial side also because a
Right.
lot of people who are watching this show must be thinking about that. मेरी सबसे बड़ी problem तो पैसा ही है. So,
Ah.
like personal side and financial side, if you can throw light on that, how you help in that.
Sure. Okay, I'll be quick on these things because I think we'll also run out of time. I usually tend to elaborate a lot. So now, emotional wellness is again very important because see, that's what I say, that your life or happiness in your life is basically or happiness quotient of your life is basically a product of two things: how well you're doing professionally and how good is your personal life. As in like your relationships and all. If these two things are set, rest everything is more or less set. Okay, you will be happy. I mean, of course, थोड़ा आपका जेब में पैसा होना चाहिए और आपका हेल्थ ठीक होना चाहिए. But then otherwise everything is fine because these two things ना, जब किसी का हार्ट ब्रेक होता है उसको पूछो, like भाई पूरा बॉलीवुड खड़ा है उस चीज के ऊपर, राइट? हार्ट ब्रेक्स के ऊपर ही तो बना इंडस्ट्री. ओके.
Very good.
तो so now we mainly cover as of now we mainly cover two things in emotional wellness. The first thing is finding a companion. Okay, so it's more about romantic relationships. Okay,
Mhm.
because in today's world, if you look at it, things have become, I mean, everybody talks about it, that like finding a good partner has become so difficult, and if you find them, keeping them has become all the more difficult. Why? Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Happen, so many dating apps. People are now actually available at the swipe of a finger. Correct. So the entry barriers into a relationship are very low, right?
Right.
You swiped someone right, you spoke to them for some time, you met them, you liked them, you get into a relationship. And exactly like that, exit barriers are also very low. I didn't like you. I didn't enjoy. Okay, or I saw a red flag, whatever it is. Go to hell. There's another guy, or there's another girl in the line, right? So now people, they don't really want to invest because उनको लगता है अरे यार ये तो invest करूंगा तो इसके अंदर कल को पता पड़ा कि मतलब बंदा या बंदी छोड़ के चला गया तो फिर again I'll be stuck, right? So that's what you're seeing these days in like especially if you talk about the bigger cities. In smaller towns, in tier 3 towns, people are still a little wary of going on to dating apps and all. But in bigger cities, almost everyone is there on dating apps. Even married people are there on dating apps. So what they do is they try to apply game theory over there. Okay, the first example that I gave you, if an alpha is to cheat, beta is to not cheat. Okay, so if both of them play beta, okay, that if both of them do not cheat, it's a good relationship, right? But they end up feeling that, hey, what if I don't cheat, but this person cheats on me? Okay, and I'll be fooled. Okay, this person will be happy because they'll anyway have somebody else with them, right? So both of them end up cheating. Now, this is where you need to find, the right balance. And how do you do that? So, a lot of mehnat has to go into finding a good companion for yourself. Now, if you look at the entire module that we have designed, we
Mhm.
get into all the details. And what we do is, it's now we are not talking only about spirituality and strategy over here. We are talking about psychology. So these sessions are, these are moderated by psychologists who have experience of counseling so many couples and individuals over a period of years. So so then what we do is we try to tell people. So for example, sometimes you will see that, hey, I like that girl, okay, but your friend will say, no, no, I didn't like her. Why? Why both of you did not like her? Because you are built differently. So if we get into your psyche, if we get into your different psychometric tests and all, if we do that, and if we do that with the other person, compatibility of you with that person might be very different from the compatibility that that person has with somebody else. Then there are other things, so what makes all of these things, so you'll see that certain people have certain traits. They are very emotionally, they're very cold. They don't want to get attached to anyone. Okay, And there are some people who are very secure. They don't mind. They don't really worry about it. They're not worried about their partner going and cheating on them. Okay, they have a very secure thing. So where does it all come from? It all comes from your childhood. The kind of I would not say parenting, but the kind of an upbringing that you have had, and it has
Right.
got. And I'm not saying that your parents used to shout at you or make you feel bad or whatever it is. It's not that. There are a lot of things that we get into which will be beyond the scope of this show that we are having right now.
Right.
But basically the idea is that you get into the human psyche. Number one, okay, understand that thing a little better. So learn a few concepts of psychology. Okay. The second thing is then you use certain tools, of strategic decision making. So, for example, uh, what are the two types of marriages that you hear about?
Of course, arranged and love marriage.
Correct. Now let me tell you one thing. This is one way of segregation. Okay. There's another way of segregation. One
Hmm.
is making a rational decision. Okay. The second thing is making an intuitive decision. So, what is a rational decision? A rational decision is one in which you are weighing everything. So, traditionally, the way it used to happen in India was that okay, now हमारी बेटी बड़ी हो गई है, अब इसके लिए लड़का ढूंढना है, या हमारा बेटा बड़ा हो गया, इसके लिए लड़का लड़की ढूंढनी है, तो चलो लड़का ढूंढना शुरू करते हैं. कैसे स्टार्ट होता था? पहले अपना खुद का रिक्वायरमेंट्स लिस्ट डाउन करोगे, पहले अपने आप को असेस करोगे हर एक लेवल के ऊपर, फिजिकली, फाइनेंशियली, प्रोफेशनली, इमोशनली, सब जब वो करोगे कि इसके लिए सूटेबल लड़का कैसा होना चाहिए. ओके, देन यू विल गो आउट इन द मार्केट. सी बिकॉज व्हेन यू नो अबाउट योरसेल्फ कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है तुम्हारे अंदर, तुम्हें पता है ना मार्केट के अंदर, इट बिकम्स ईजियर बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट्स सिलेक्शन बाय एलिमिनेशन. ये तो पक्का नहीं चाहिए,
Hmm.
इनको हटाओ साइड में. योर फनलिंग बिकम्स अ लॉट ईजियर, राइट? And then like, okay, now these people are there, this one is looking good. Okay, why? Because now you're weighing something. There's some algorithm which is going on in your mind. It's not mathematical. Some algorithm is going on in your mind, and the entire family will say, "Oh, we vote for this guy," and or the girl will say that, "No, I want this guy." Okay, and then they'll get married. This is rational decision making. Now I'll tell you what. These days, there are a lot of people. If let's say if you are there on a matrimonial site, or if you are there on a dating app, and if you're looking for a serious relationship, or if you're looking for marriage, this is exactly what you're doing. You have your specifications, you put those things in your filters, age range this to this. I'm not looking for any girl who is for example less than 30 years old, or more than 40 years old, for example. Okay, or she should be this much height. Okay, she should she should have yes ऐसा करके qualification रहना चाहिए, looks ऐसे होने चाहिए. You're putting filters, right? So although you think that अरे मेरे को तो बम्बल पे लड़की मिली थी and I got married to her. Okay, so it's my love marriage. No, boss. Love marriage is one way of looking at it. You're doing rational decision making. Okay, this is what we promote. It's good to do that. You keep the attraction factor there. Okay, like when you're weighing all those options, you keep that thing. कि अच्छा यार इसके लिए attraction बहुत ज़्यादा है. But at least you'll be making an informed decision. कि मुझे पता था that there was this girl or there was this guy who on papers was looking a lot better, but then still I went for number two or number three. Why? Because इसके लिए दिल धड़कता है मेरा. ठीक है? Whatever it is. So we cover those things, and
Hmm.
we help you come face to face with those emotions. Now, if you see, if you go on a date, okay, first of all you're spending money. Second
Hmm.
thing, you're spending time. Okay, if you end up getting a bad experience on that date, you'll be like, oh my god, why did I even go there, right? If you can spend hours on dating people who are not worth it, okay, spend 2 hours with us. We'll give you some tips. We'll help you save time. I'm just
Right.
advertising for myself, but that exactly is what this show is supposed to be, right? So that is one part of it. Okay.
Hmm.
The second
Hmm.
part of it is you are already in a relationship now. How do you nurture the bond? Okay. So that is
Right.
also a lot similar to it. We use some similar techniques. We make you more aware about yourself. We don't give you any jazz. Okay. कि आंख बंद करो, दिल पे हाथ रखो, ऐसा करो वैसा करो, अंदर मन के अंदर झांको. ठीक है, झांको मन के अंदर, बट देन थोड़े बहुत बाहर के कॉन्सेप्ट्स भी ले लो. बिकॉज सी देयर इज दैट टू टाइप्स ऑफ लर्निंग: प्राइमरी लर्निंग, सेकेंडरी लर्निंग. What is primary learning? You burn your fingers and then you know, oh, this is fire. I should not put my hand into it. This is primary learning. Okay. Secondary learning is you see somebody else putting their hand into fire and you know that you shouldn't be doing that, right? So all that we are doing is for secondary learning. Secondary learning is something in which you learn a lot of things very quickly. Somebody has already done these things. Why do you want to break your head onto it? Okay. Come here, do a crash course, learn those concepts quickly, and go apply in your life.
Great.
That's so that was what emotional thing, okay, which was a little longer. Financial thing, I'll talk very quickly because we have to end the thing. It's going to be an hour almost. So financially, now how are we different? So we don't tell people you put your money in this stock, you put your money into that stock. Usually when people ask us, "Oh, your financial wellness programs,
Mhm.
what is it that we're going to get?" I
So, like, is it like going to a financial advisor? Is it like something like that?
No, so I'll tell you. There's so many people who are giving financial advice. Okay,
Mm.
uh, you can follow blogs, you can follow certain magazines, you can go to a portfolio manager here. He's going to tell you where to invest, where not to invest. No, we are not adding to that ladder. Okay, if you want any service like that, there are a lot of people. What we do is we talk about very basic things. For example, you see, there's so many people in their late 20s. Suddenly, they'll find that, my God, I did not start saving at an early age. Okay, and I don't have any savings. No problem. From next month onwards, I'll go on, like on an austerity drive, and then I'll start saving a lot of money. Why does it never happen? If anybody is watching this show, ask yourself, how many times has it happened with you that you're not able to save money? And why were you not able to save money despite making amazing budget plans and all that? We tell you how to do that because we use strategy and spirituality in that thing. We don't give you jazz. We'll tell you some workable things, and we'll make you discover those workable things. That's what we do in one of the modules, okay, which is about managing personal finance. Okay, that's one big thing. The second module that we have, in that thing we get a little bit into investments, but instead of telling you, "Arey, isme paisa dal do, usme paisa dal do," we tell you about different. So, like for example, I ask you, Karan, let's say that you start earning today. Okay, you started your job today. Okay,
Mhm.
and you have got whatever. Let's say over 50,000 rupees is your, like, you have taken care of all your expenses, and now you're left with 50,000 rupees disposable income. What are you going to do with that 50,000 rupees? Like you have bought everything, like whatever shopping you have to do, you have done everything, घर का rent दे दिया, सब कुछ कर दिया, सब हो गया. अब ये 50,000 रुपए क्या करेगा इसका?
Yeah, so I will obviously, just like any professional or sensible thinking guy, I would divide that amount into some investments of different nature.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Like what?
that's what I'll do. I'll park something for future, for long term, something for the short term needs that might be having, something for the emergency fund, some
Hmm.
maybe something in mutual fund or something like that. So I'll basically see the what's my limit that I'm having, and is it a immediate fund that I have received, or it's a consistent income that I am generating. Based on
Right.
that, I'll just plan the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, now I'll tell you what I would ask you to do. The first thing that I would ask you to do, I would ask you to go for an insurance policy.
Of course.
And that insurance policy, there are four different types of insurance. It's not just see, people don't have understanding about insurance. Let's say if I
Right.
ask you what are different types of insurance, okay, what are the things that you will tell me? Okay, let's put it at you. You have been in this world for, I mean, you have been earning for quite some time. What are the different types of insurance for yourself?
So I'll go for life insurance. I'll go for a health insurance plan, accidental which covers accidental insurance and all those things. And then of course there are the general insurance that we do. And apart from my personal insurance, I'll also do my insurance of my family members. Yeah,
Correct.
that is how I'll segregate it.
So
These are the
now,
different types.
if you look at all of these things, okay, these are very different things. The first thing that you talked about was life insurance. Now, what is life insurance? It's called a term cover. Okay, term
Right.
cover means आप मरोगे तो पैसा मिलेगा पीछे वालों को.
It's
टर्म
kind of
कवर,
a death insurance basically.
ठीक है, कि मर गए तो पैसा मिलेगा.
Mm.
उसका एक्चुअली उसका ठीक है, आई नॉट गेट टू डिटेल्स, ठीक है, बट एक वन इज दैट कि मर गए तो पैसा मिला. दूसरा क्या होता है? हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन. अरे आई गॉट हॉस्पिटलाइज नाउ, हॉस्पिटल का बिल देने के लिए, ठीक है, बट देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज क्रिटिकल इलनेस इंश्योरेंस. व्हाट इज दैट क्रिटिकल इलनेस इंश्योरेंस? That let's say that you get diagnosed with something, or somebody gets, God forbid, somebody gets diagnosed with, let's say, cancer or some
Mm.
basic disease, and now you don't have a job. Okay, you lost your job. You are in the hospital. You are getting some money from your insurance company to pay off your hospital bills. Okay, but you're losing salary, right? तो घर कैसे चलेगा आपका? For that there is critical illness insurance. Okay, this is a type of insurance very few people are aware of it. Okay, so so that is one. So there, like that, there are different things. So there is insurance. Then there is ki acha. There are some people who will be like, ki, oh no boss, don't put your money into stock market. Why not? Okay. Because see, we don't have any interest in that. We're not brokers. okay, that we'll tell you put your money into the stock. We'll tell you how does the stock market work. What are the things that you should watch out? What is the right age to put how much money into it? Okay, that is one. Then real estate. Okay, real estate is another thing. Everybody is like, in the Indian mindset that we have. Oh, boss, you got a job, a good salary. You're 25 years old. Buy a house now, because later on it's going to be expensive. Does it make sense in your case? Yes or no? That is something that we help you figure out. So in financial wellness, we talk about all these things, and then we talk about how to increase your disposable income without compromising on the fun that you're having.
Great, 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 great.
So
So I have
that's what.
one question because we are short of time also. So I would just like to ask, like you are very beautifully, like if I just open that slide, you have very beautifully try to explain all the areas of financial, physical, professional, and emotional layers. So my question is like, if somebody is coming to you, will they come for all these layers together, or it will be something like that? I feel that I have problem only in, let's say, my financial, I have only financial problems, so then I can come to you only for that solution, or this comes as a whole package wherein all layers are covered. How do you take
Okay.
it?
We use a modular approach. Okay.
Mm.
And
Okay.
even also, if you go on the website, if anybody goes on the website, they'll be able to see that, you can pick whatever you are interested in. So, for example, if you go in professional wellness,
Hmm.
yeah, they can click on this link. So if you go in professional wellness, one is mastering workplace politics, in which we discuss only about that. There's another module that we cover, and is finding your ikigai. Ikigai is like the purpose of your life. What are the right career choices that you should make, and how to decide that thing and all those things. So you can pick and choose whatever you want. But there is another thing that we didn't speak about it. This is holistic wellness. So in holistic wellness, it's I mean, of course, everything is a part of it, but there is one service that we do. We call it the boardroom. Okay, in which what happens is that you are facing a lot of problems in your life. Let's say you are facing a lot of problems in your life, and you're not able to come out of it. वो गुत्थी पूरी उलझ जाती है कि अभी समझ नहीं आ रहा भाई, ये फिजिकल में प्रॉब्लम है कि इमोशनल में है कि किधर से रूट कॉज है, मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा. ठीक है, आई एम कंप्लीटली कंफ्यूज एंड आई नीड सम काइंड ऑफ अ गाइडेंस. So for that, we have a program which is holistic wellness, in which we'll discuss your own case. Okay, so it will be like your own life story. Okay, and then we'll get into it. So we do it in groups, so that there's a group of people, and everybody sits together, and then we try to brainstorm. We anonymize the cases, so nobody will know that your case is being discussed. Okay, but collective wisdom सबका लग रहा है. तो अब सोचो ना, 5 जने बैठ करके, अगर if there are 5 people who are 30 years old, who are sitting together, okay, it's 150 years of wisdom that we're talking about. Okay, so it's a lot better than just one person thinking about it, right? Or one person giving you any kind of an advice. Advice तो हम देते ही नहीं, we're not advisors. There's one
Okay.
more thing quickly. I'll just 1 minute. I'll cover that thing because I think we left that thing. Vinyasa yoga. Now,
Hmm.
vinyasa yoga is a performing yoga. Okay, which means like the asanas. Okay. Now, what is vinyasa yoga, and how are we different from any other yoga classes that you might come across anywhere? People usually teach hatha yoga. Hatha yoga is something in which there are different asanas, but there is no particular sequence, and you just do it in one particular. So you hold a pose and you sit there breathing for a certain amount of time. In Vinyasa yoga is basically so you might have heard of power yoga. Power yoga is something which originated out of Vinyasa yoga. Vinyasa means flow. So what you're doing is, with every breath that you're taking, there is a movement of your body. So when your body continuously keeps on moving for whatever period of time, 1 hour or whatever for which you're doing that yoga, and these asanas are put in a specific sequence, so that your spine does not get overloaded. So let's say if you keep on doing your asanas in your own way, you might be doing a lot of forward bending asanas all the time. That might create a problem. Okay, so
Right.
this is not proper curated sequence which is there. Okay, so and I personally benefited a lot out of it. Weight loss is something which is a byproduct. I lost 7 kgs weight in 1 month. Okay, but I don't
Great.
really talk about food. And I was eating quite a lot even at that time. So
Mhm.
there are a lot of things. So there's another thing that we have included into it, which is Ayurveda. So for example, if somebody comes to us for Vinyasa yoga classes for an entire month, you'll get a lot of things. You'll get the yoga sessions, 12 yoga and like asana and pranayam session. You get 4 meditation sessions. Okay. Then you get so there's one session in which we talk about yoga philosophy. Okay, it's like the
Mhm.
theory of it. Okay, which is something that we touched upon today. Okay, and
Mhm.
then there is a free Ayurveda consultation that we give, free or complimentary, whatever you want to call it. But for the first month, it's free. Okay, so that you know what is your body type, what are the things that you should eat, because it's a combination of all of these things. You want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you want to get flexibility, strength, whatever it is. It's very important for you to get an Ayurveda consultation. And people don't really go to Ayurveda doctors, so that's why we have kept it complimentary, for the first month, anybody who comes. And we have kept such small batch sizes so that there is proper attention. See, these days there are so many yoga classes going on. Join us for free. 100 people doing yoga, you are just one, you are one pixel on their screen. What do they know? What are you doing? How do they get you into correct sequences? Our batch size is max 12, not more than that. Proper attention is what we give. So I think that's now we have covered everything at 9 sharp
Great.
at 9. This is good punctual.
Fantastic, fantastic. Amazing. So I've seen on your website that you have so many experts on different things. Like you have financial experts, yoga experts, and psychologists, as you just mentioned, on board with you in your team of Tattva Manthan. So that's so amazing that it's not only about one thought process or one source of learning, but it's a combination, and it's like a team of experts of different areas which are helping the people. So that's very interesting. So I would just before we end the show, because we are now on time, so there are some questions that are coming up. If
One
you
question that I can see, the last question at 46. Could you share any success story out of these strategies or modules?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. So would you like to share some story,
Success story out of these strategies or modules. Okay.
or maybe
Uh,
any success story that you would like to share?
Success story के लिए तो it will be a little too early for us to say this thing, because we have just started, and these things they take a little bit of time. But I can definitely share a few things about the feedback that we got from our customers. One thing was that they had a lot more clarity about what they were looking for. Okay, so that's one, that they had a lot more clarity. The second thing is, like, if I talk about the biggest success story, if I have to tell you, is me myself, because I mean I'm a living example of whatever we are doing. It's- None of these things is something which has been outsourced or which has been picked from somewhere. I took my own sweet time, more than a year, to put these things together. And I think, okay, I'll not say I'm very sorted in my life. We still do a lot of mistakes, but we're on our evolutionary journey here. So it's about making your journey comfortable. Every day you learn something new. कभी कभी एकदम ऐसा हार्ट एक होता है ना कि यार ऐसा गलती कैसे कर दिया. But it's okay. Over a period of time, you learn things. So the only thing that you need to do is observe. Observe your feelings. Where is it coming from? Whether you are successful and happy, and whether you have failed, and both of us are failures. Yeah, we should talk about it, Karan. Both of us are bloody failures. Like, we started off as failures, didn't we? There's a
Of
very
course.
trivia about the two of us. You want to talk about my failure or your failure? How do you want to do it? Let's do it.
Let's keep it for some other day.
No, I want to talk
But
about
yeah,
it right.
but I'm proudly accepting that those amazing failures have taught a lot, and I am personally what I am. I am sure you are also personally what you are because of those failures.
Yes, yes,
Nothing succeeds success, and nothing teaches more than failures.
exactly. So that's why, if you fail, and then you laugh at it, that's probably the best thing to do.
Right.
Okay, you don't talk about your failure. I want to talk about my failure. I got compartment when I was in 12th standard. I took 5 years to complete my engineering. I flunked in my first year. Okay, and then, like, when I was working, I worked with Cummins for 11 years, and initially I used to get promotions very quickly. I got very क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ऐसा कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया और हवा में उड़ने लगे एंड ऑल दैट. 5 साल लगे.
Best performer of the company.
तो पहला 4 साल में 3 प्रमोशन मिला. अगला प्रमोशन मिलने के अंदर 5 साल लग गया. ठीक है, बहुत दुख होता था. अरे बॉस इज लाइक दिस, आई डोंट नो, देख रहा होगा मेरा बॉस कहीं तो इसमें तो कि अरे बॉस बुरा है, ये बुरा है, वो कुछ नहीं. ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम एवरीथिंग इज फाइन. अभी मुझे पता नहीं, ये तत्व मंथन मुझे पता नहीं ये सक्सेस होगा कि सक्सेसफुल होगा कि फेलियर होगा, पता नहीं. फेलियर हो तो भी कुछ तो सीख के जाऊंगा. इतना पता है कि लाइक भूखे नहीं मरने वाले. भूखा मर रहा हूँ, तेरे घर पे आ जाऊंगा करण, खाना खिलाने के लिए, खाना खाने के लिए.
So basically, what I would say is there is no chance of Tattva Manthan going to fail, because of the fact that I know that you have given a lot of love and passion and to this particular concept and this startup that you have. And I'm sure that there is no chance of getting failed in that. And that comes also with that, I'm sure of that also because of one reason, that you are very true to what you are saying. So I could make out in this session, and I'm sure the audience could also make out in this session, that you are very true to the knowledge that you have gained till now, and what you are exploring further with the people that you are getting on board with. So I'm sure, I wish all the great success to Tattva Manthan and your team along with you. And I'm sure you will be able to help out many people all over India, all over the world. And since because of this Corona pandemic, it's people are so much available online, and you are doing this all activities online. That's amazing, because now you can, like, the whole world is on 1 degree now, so anybody from anywhere of the world can come to you for taking help, for seeking help. So that basically says a lot. That says a lot, because Tattva Manthan will get a lot of advantage from that. So on the website of Tattva Manthan, all the details of the programs that Tattva Manthan is having are very clearly mentioned. And anybody from the audience who would like to register for those programs can go on those on the website, register for them. And I can see, Ashu, that the fee that you have kept is almost negligible. So I would like to say that please increase the fees, because what you are giving to the people is worth a lot. Yeah, well, you want to say something?
Yeah, actually, I was actually, I was just looking at the comments. So there is some user love for creativity.
Mhm.
So I was just going to the question 1 second. It says how to manage cognitive dissonance at work using spirituality. Considering the jobs available are few, and no one usually takes no for an answer for a task assigned. Okay. I don't know if the user is still online or not, but I'll try to first understand. Okay, so they're saying how to manage cognitive dissonance. It's a heavy word. Let me Google it. Cognitive dissonance meaning. Cognitive dissonance is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, belief, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude changes. Okay. uh, and how to handle that thing, how to manage that thing using spirituality. Okay, considering the jobs available are few and no one usually takes no for an answer for tasks. Okay, cool. So now you can look at this thing from different perspectives. You can look at this thing from your own perspective, and you can look at this thing from your stakeholder or your boss or whoever it is, from their perspective. Whatever might be the case, I'll say that first of all, forget about spirituality. Forget that you're using spirituality or psychology or strategy, whatever. Don't give names to things. Okay. Uh, Try to think logically. Okay, the best question in this entire world, okay, the best word in this entire world is why. Okay, why. Okay, so let's say that you're saying that you're facing cognitive dissonance at work. So first ask yourself a question, that why am I facing this thing? Okay, why am I having inconsistent thoughts or beliefs, or why is my boss having inconsistent thoughts or beliefs? Okay, that will give you an answer. Okay, then you go to the next level of why. That okay, if I'm having inconsistent thoughts, it's maybe because you might be able to put a finger at it ki, Arey, it's because of this reason, because my concepts are not clear, or because my boss, you might get into this thing ki, uh, maybe my boss is an idiot and just doesn't understand things. Okay, or is a spineless fellow. That's what we keep hearing, right? Okay, if he's a spineless fellow, then again ask another question, why? Don't try to judge things, observe things. Why is he a spineless fellow? Is he the owner of the company? Even if he's the owner of the company, he's not. The customer is the owner of the company. There's somebody who is asking him to do something, and he might be under pressure. Might be, I'm saying, not saying necessarily, because there are jerk bosses as well. Okay, so so what is causing that much pressure onto him that he's crumbling under that pressure? Is it his boss? Can I set my super boss? Okay. Or is this entire department or this entire function is going in a डूबत खाता वाली चीज, ठीक है? कई बार क्या होता है ना, आप देख रहे हो कि ये टाइटैनिक ये डूब रहा है बॉस, बेस्ट चीज क्या है? लाइफ बोट पकड़ो निकल जाओ, करेक्ट? सो यू हैव टू सी दैट थिंग. नाउ इफ इट्स अबाउट योर ओन थिंग दैट आपको लग रहा है कि यार मेरे थॉट्स कंसिस्टेंट नहीं है, so then you try to understand one thing, that where is it arising out from? Okay, like are you looking at too many things? Are you wanting to accomplish quite a lot of things in a short period of time? And are you doing it because of peer pressure? or are you doing it because you have your own, you're self-imposing a lot of pressure on yourself. Ki, Arey bhai, I have to, I have to get that promotion, or I have to get this thing. Okay. So, so the only formula that I'm giving you is just ask yourself the question, why? And don't listen to people's advice. I mean, like, don't act on people's advice. Take advice if you want to take advice. You want to discuss things with somebody, you do that. You can get connected with us. You have our details. Okay. So I would like to know a little more about it because it's a little vague question. I mean, not vague, but then not enough information is there.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So
Fantastic, fantastic. So, I'm sure you tried your level best to answer the question, and there is a fantastic feedback also that I would like to put up on the screen. That holistic wellness approach should be a part of the education system. We are paying a lot to become corporate clerks since independence. That's a nice take.
go Gaga. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So thank you, Ashu, and we have taken a good amount of time of the audience who are watching. So there is a consistency in the audience who is watching this show right now. So that's amazing. That means people who have started watching us are glued still. So that says a lot about what you told today, everybody. That people resonated with that. That's
Yeah, I
interesting.
don't know. I think see, things like this, they don't really attract a lot of people. So I'm hoping that your show on YouTube later on is going to get good views. I can just hope. So let's see.
Of course. Of course it will, and I'm sure on Google for a lot number of days and lot many number of years, if somebody is searching about you, Tattva Manthan or about Ashu Nitin Anant, this video will pop up in their search results in the top for a long number of days. So people will get a lot. We will get a lot of views later on also on this
Yes.
show. So
Yes.
thank you
Cool.
guys. Thank you, Ashish, so much for your time. This was
Thanks, man.
amazing, and yeah, it was nice to have like talk to you for at a length on these kind of discussions. And I remember the days of Koda that where we had such great intellectual discussions. Even we were so young, but the intellectual level was capital was very high at that age also.
See, if you have a Ferrari, uh, just having a Ferrari doesn't help. You need to put fuel into it, right?
Right.
Which we are trying to
Very
put
nice.
now.
Of course, of course. So
Cool.
thank you, and have all the best to the team of Tattva Manthan for this fantastic venture. And I'm sure I'll come up with some I'll register for a program very soon for one of the programs very soon with you.
All right, great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ashu.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone for the comments and questions, and as you're on. Okay.